Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to pop to Matalan and have a look around the homeware section. There is loads of autumn stuff, I'm happy to say, and some really beautiful colours as well. I do love autumn colours, I really do. How nice are these cushions? They did have variations of those throughout the store. Really love the colour of this. That is like the perfect beige. They had so much bedding in some really gorgeous colours. This mustard one's really nice. And these gingham ones, how cute are these if you've got like that country core style in your bedroom? This blue was the one that I like the most, but £22 for those. Well, different prices for different sizes, but this one was 22. These are lovely as well, and they were so soft. I mean, it says super soft, but they did feel really soft. These ones are like the quilted type ones, but in the past, I've had ones like that and they've not gone through the tumble dryer very well. They've gone all like, the back of them's gone all weird in the tumble dryer. This quilted throw I'm showing you here, I need to get that. I need to find out the price for that because obviously it was on display. This is really nice, isn't it, with the lace design? And these furry throws, not really my thing, to be honest with you. They're a bit too thick for me, but you know, they're really cool for winter, aren't they, for the colder months. Here's the throw. Well, it's a similar one. I couldn't find the exact one though, but £55 for that. And they had matching cushions as well. There's some more of this brown, like furry faux fur stuff, the duvet set. Can you imagine how hot that would be though? I mean, I know it gets cold in the winter, but the thought of having that on my bed is just way too much for me. These were nice though, very soft again. How cool are these pumpkin throws? Oh, it's a duvet. Sorry, duvet set. They did have throws as well. But yeah, I thought this was really nice. See, that wasn't too thick. It was still quite thick, but not overly thick like the other one was. I'm seeing a lot of black and white as a theme across quite a few stores actually. Oh, I love this. I thought this would look really nice with some papery in. £20 for that. I love Matalan for their plants as well, like their fake plants. I always find they look quite realistic, but the vase on this one was really nice, like that hammered effect, and I absolutely love this. I love the design of it. I think it is so nice with like some blankets in or just bits and bobs or whatever, but £18 for that one. Felt really nice quality as well, and this vase is lovely as well. I do like an abstract vase. I just think it adds a little bit of class, I suppose, to the home. Some more bedding, and these picture frames, I thought they were really nice, like a pebble design. I don't know, I just thought there was something different about them, but for £10 as well, I thought they were quite good. They had loads of, you know, their duvets and pillows. I've actually had them from there in the past and I've got on really well with them. I think they're really nice. I do love the little displays that they've got out now as well. They didn't used to have these. So moving on to the autumn range now, and they had so much really nice wreaths. This one I really like actually. £28 though, it's quite expensive, but I have to say it does look really nice. These pumpkins are cool, aren't they? And they had the white ones as well. I think they were slightly smaller, but these cushions, I love them. I think these are really nice for £12 as well. I think most of the cushions across the store were £12. I do like that picture as well for the kitchen. More pumpkins. We always get pumpkins this time of the year, don't we? But these ones were all fuzzy, so they were really cute. £12 for those. And this really unusual bedding set, just like randomly placed there with western like cowboy boots on. I really love this vase. It was so heavy as well. It was really weighty. But yeah, can you imagine that with some flowers in or something? £15 for that as well. I thought that was a really, really good price. And then they also had these little pumpkins that can sit on your mantelpiece or your windowsill. This was like one of those metal pictures. Again, would look quite nice in a kitchen. £5 for that. And then they had these cushions. Now I know these aren't going to be to everyone's taste, but I just thought they were quite cute. They were £15, but they were quite elaborate. The fox one's really cool as well. That was all embroidered onto the cushion itself. Got to have some gonks or some gnomes at this time of the year, haven't we? All the time. Always see a gonk or a gnome. Yeah, I wasn't so keen on that candle, to be honest. These are quite cool for the kids' room though, aren't they? With this little autumn print on. How cool. You put a face on a pumpkin and it just looks immediately cute, doesn't it? Some random birds. I really like these bits actually. I thought these were really cute. You could use them, you know, in the living room or the bedroom or whatever, but I thought for a kid's room as well, they'd be quite nice. £7 for that candle. I love this. I think this is really nice with this like rust and beige sort of stripes on it. £10 as well. I thought that was a great price. And then these are nice as well. You know, you could put them on like next to the TV on the unit or whatever. They also had that basket with little mushrooms on as well. I love a hanging plant, and I thought the colours on this one was really nice. £6.50 for that. I think that's a great price. This is beautiful. They've got a few bits like this, and I am quite tempted to get them. They are a little bit more expensive, I suppose, but £18, is it? Because it feels solid, like really solid. Another wreath here. That one was 28 again. I do prefer the other one though, I have to say. Then moving round here, there's some more like bedding, loads of bedding in the store at the moment. Bedding, cushions, vases. It's just a bit of a mishmash really. But this one's nice. I like the design on that. I thought it was pretty. This cushion was only £10, which I thought was quite good. Little furry pumpkins on it again. Oh, here's that throw I mentioned earlier. You know, I said that that bedding set had the throw version. So yeah, here it is. I would get that. I think that'd be really cosy, like watching TV in the winter. That vase there on the left, I actually had that last year. So they've had that in like, you know, 2 years in a row. But yeah, more hanging plants. These were nice actually. And then, oh, I love this. This is solid wood, and it was only £12. I was really impressed with that. I might actually go back for that as well. These cushions are nice too. £12 again. I always think just to add a little something, even if you've got some little autumn cushions, it just adds that little bit of coziness, doesn't it? There's the wreaths together there. So they had three different types, I think, altogether. And then some more bits and bobs. These were quite cool, you know, to put in the kitchen or the bathroom, you know, for your hand soap. And then I saw this. I don't know if it's supposed to be a pumpkin or a pear, but I think it looks more like a pear. It's like a tub type thing with a lid on it. Yeah, these bits as well, I thought they were lovely. I like the colour of those throws there. And this plant was quite nice as well. I quite like the vase on this one, but again for £10. And then moving on to the indoor plants, or the faux plants, fake plants, whatever you want to say. This one was beautiful. I love the white flowers on this. I have no idea what any of these are supposed to be. I'm not very good with names, but this one was lovely as well. It's quite big, and the leaves actually look quite realistic, not on the back so much, but they do on the front. I got distracted by all of this gorgeous wood sort of, I don't know what you call this, but this material anyway. And these are exactly what I'm looking for my cabinet in the living room. So I'm definitely going to be going back for those. There it is, like, you know, fully assembled. But they are beautiful. And for £10 as well is a brilliant price. And then they also had them in white as well. So this little unit would be quite nice in a bathroom, I thought, with the little wicker baskets in. £55 for that one, so a little bit more expensive, but it was nice. And then they had the matching basket as well, which was lovely. And this little black and white box as well, like the stripy one. And they also had them in a more natural colour as well, but these had little like leather labels on, which I thought was quite cool. And this basket here, or this, well, it is basket, what do they call it, ottoman hamper, it also had a smaller one inside, and that was £45. But look at this stool. How gorgeous is this, with the, like, I don't know, the straw, seagrass, whatever it is, and then these wooden legs that were so solid as well, but £30 for those. And then they had the ones with the scalloped edges as well. I know they're really popular, aren't they, at the moment? They had a small selection of art or prints, ones with these quotes on, not really my thing, and then they also had these pretty cool city prints, I suppose. I quite like the Paris one. Also had a little selection of candles. I really like these ones on the top. I love this. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of animal print. But yeah, this one I confirm smells really nice as well. And these more basic ones. Back to the plants again as I got distracted. But yeah, more hanging, or not hanging plants, I keep saying that. They're like drapey plants, aren't they? This was gorgeous. I'm definitely going to go back for this because I thought it was really nice. £22 for that, and they're a decent size as well. Also really like this one though. I love the vase on it as well, but I love the colours of this one. Can you see what I mean by the actual leaves and the flowers? I do think they look quite realistic. Then they had a couple more bigger ones on the bottom as well, this like grassy type one, and this little almost tree, which I love. I think that one's really nice. I was actually quite tempted to get that to put like outside in the porch. I thought that would be lovely. Loads of cushions. These are more kind of like plain, and then more plants again on the other side. Love the base of this one. Blue and white's really in at the moment, isn't it? And this bigger tree as well. I love that. And these little orchids for £14. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And then some like what I'd call window plants, like window box type ones. This I have been wanting to come in for. It's actually one of the main reasons I came in. I wanted to look at this vase and it did not disappoint. It is absolutely gorgeous. So £25 for that. And the bowl that I showed you earlier, they're kind of like matchy, if you know what I mean. These are really cool, aren't they? I quite like how narrow it is. I thought, you know, if you've got a room and you've got limited space, that would be ideal. Onto the kitchen section now. So they had these autumn bits on the end just here. Look at this. I think it's a little cake stand, but it's got a little squirrel on it. I just thought it was kind of cute. And these little pots that I actually initially thought were candles, but they're not. They're pots. £7 for those. They were quite nice, actually. Most of the kitchen one was just plain white. But yeah, cake stand in this one. I quite like the wibbly wobbly ones, I have to say. I thought they were really nice. I like that big, it's not really a charger plate, is it? It's like, you know, like a serving plate, I suppose. And these ones on the other side that had these little bubbly designs around the edge. But they were good prices. You know, you can get a full set for like 30 something pounds. These glasses, I thought they were nice, similar to those candles I showed you earlier. Now, this isn't my thing at all, but I know some people will love this. There's a lot of people that love their leopard print, isn't there, at the moment especially? And I mean, they were fun. Don't get me wrong, they were very fun, just not really my thing. They also had these more pastel-y type ones, which to me, to be honest with you, were more springtime. But they were cute. They were nice. And these like, you know, browns, beiges, which I'll be honest, I do prefer that sort of thing anyway. But yeah, so a whole wall of what I would say were more basics. Quite like the black ones. They're quite nice, aren't they? And then they had these. Now, these are more my taste. I absolutely love the biscuit tin. I think it is absolutely gorgeous with the little silver, like, emblem type thing on the front there. And then they had loads of oven gloves and tea towels and stuff. And then these, what would you call this? Is it Koya? Or something like that, isn't it? But basically doormats. But they had a few different designs in those, and they were only £8, which I thought was quite good. I love this little laundry section. I couldn't find a price tag on those baskets at the bottom there, but I love these, like the little spray bottles and the little storage jars. I just think, you know, when you put your stuff in those, mine's on the windowsill, it just looks so nice all together. The little section here was quite cute, actually. I do like this pumpkin pot. I like the leaves on the side of it, and it was a decent size as well for £6. And then they also had these. Now, I don't like the green, but they also had it in brown. Can you imagine, with in the winter, your nice soup and then your little toast on the side? I just thought they were really quite lovely, actually. They had these, which I thought were really nice, more of that farmer's market type stuff. These little seat cushions were lovely. They were so soft and squishy, but £20 for two of those. And then they also had tea towels to match. I had to show you the kids section and the baby section because they had the most adorable bits. And these bear things in particular, I absolutely loved. I wish I'd had seen all this when mine was small, because their whole room would have been like this. Honestly, the amount of stuff they had in this range, and I feel like you could actually do up a whole nursery for a minimal price, just using all of this range, and it looks so lovely as well. Even this cup was cute. I'd have that. £6 for that. But yeah, it is so traditional, isn't it? And really very, very cute. They also had this little range for what I would call like younger girls. They had these little whale cushions, which I thought was really cute. And this duvet set was cool, wasn't it? Oh, and then I went back and I saw this little sippy cup. Can you imagine that for a little toddler? How adorable. And this kid's bathroom range. I mean, look at these. They are so cute, they really are. I couldn't find the price on these either. Some things I just couldn't find the price on. But you had a little duck in the bath, we had the little ducks to put on the edge of the bath or the windowsill, and even these little towels that were embroidered as well. Honestly, adorable. And then I saw, now my kids, well actually my eldest had a Winnie the Pooh nursery, and if I'd had seen these back then, oh, I'd have been in my absolute element. But £14 for this bolster cushion, which I thought was really nice, and this beautiful bedding as well. And they also had these tubs, which I mean you could use for laundry baskets, but they could double up as, like, you know, to put toys in as well. This dog range, how cute is this? I can imagine a lot of young boys and girls loving this range, and it looks so nice. It really did. It reminds me actually of, I don't know if you watch Mrs. Hinch, but how she has her kids' rooms. Also had some nice luggage in as well. And that's everything I filmed in Matalan. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. If you enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.